All right, everyone, we're about to get started. If we can find our seats, silence our cell phones, and close the sides, doors, and back door, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Monday, the 9th day of December in the year 2024. This is a City Council caucus meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 4 p.m. start. The clock on my cell phone is showing 4:01 p.m. May I have a roll call for the commencement of this caucus? Councilperson Ridley. Councilperson Prinzeri. Councilperson Baggiano.
Here.
Councilperson Soleil is not here. Councilperson Solomon's not here. Councilperson Gilmore's not here. Councilperson DeGise.
Here.
Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
And Council President Waterman. Councilperson Gilmore is present at 4:02 p.m. So we now have 7 council members in attendance at 4:01 p.m. On behalf of Council President Waterman and the members of the Municipal Council in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of Municipal Council for the calendar year 2024, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. In addition, at its time for its preparation, the agenda was similarly disseminated on Friday, December 6, 2024 at 3:22 p.m. to the mayor, municipal council, business administrator, corporation council, local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Council President, before I turn it over to you, I just wanted to make a general announcement. All members of the team, of the administration, when you come up to the podium, please state your name for the record, so we have that on the record. Thank you so much. Council President, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, Council President, members of the council, and Director Kears for Emergency Management and Department of Public Works. There's 3 items I have before you this evening. Number 24881, item 1012, resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Nadler Mobile LLC for the lease of a modular trailers that presently house the East District Police personnel. This lease will run through September 23rd, 2025. Total amount of the lease is $66,864.
Greg, can I ask you something? What are they doing with 207 7th Street?
I'm not quite sure, Councilman. I know the building is still vacant. It requires extensive renovation due to mold. We had the mold condition. That's what predicated the move to the trailers.
It's amazing. I worked there for 30 years and I know one person that ever got sick.
Next item is 1027-24896. The resolution will authorize the award of a contract to F&S Tire Corporation for the purchase and delivery of various tires for city-owned vehicles under state contract for the DPW Automotive Division. Total amount of this contract is $225,000 and funds are available in a DPW Automotive operating account. And the last item is 1028, Reso 24897. Resolution will award a contract to A Lembo Car and Heavy Duty Truck Collision Incorporated for the maintenance and repairs of heavy-duty vehicles under state contract for the Department of Public Works Automotive Division. Total amount of this contract is $400,000. Funds are available in a DPW Automotive operating account.
Excuse me, Greg, I meant to ask a question for 1012. You said this lease is to go to next year, to September?
I'm sorry, Councilman, you.
Item 1012, for the trailers for the East District, is
Yes.
slated to go to September of next year.
Yes.
Do you anticipate us doing any more extensions after this September coming up? No.
Councilman, we're looking at like an 8 to 10 month out, build out of that area. Right now it's a white box. We went through some state finalization of the plans because some of the areas where prisoners would have to be secured. And now they're in the process of getting the materials and building it out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Shay.
Good afternoon, Council President, members of City Council. My name is Ofer Cohen, Director of Food and Nutrition at HHS. I have 2 items for you this evening. Item number 1, Resolution 24886, Agenda number 10.17. This is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City Health and Human Services to accept additional grant funds from Hudson County Department of Health and Human Services for our peer grouping meal program. This program feeds seniors, homebound seniors under the age of 60, and this is an additional $15,000 of grant funding. There is no match required for this. Okay. Resolution 24887, Agenda number 10.18, a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey for NJ SNAP Ed Nutrition and Fitness Education Programming. This is an annual agreement we have with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, where they help us, well, they help by providing some supplemental nutrition education at some of our senior sites and some of our vertical farming sites. Thank you.
De Silva, City Planning. Good evening, Madam Council President, members of City Council. Planning has 1 item for you tonight. That would be agenda item number 3.1. First reading of an ordinance amending the West Side Avenue redevelopment plan, expanding allowed uses in the Loft Residential District. So the Loft Residential District in the West Side Avenue redevelopment plan is a single property district consisting of a vacant, formerly industrial structure on the corner of West Side Avenue and Fisk Street, across the street from College Towers. So the Loft Residential District was intended for a solely residential conversion building into loft-style apartment units. In the course of pre-construction activities, the developer found that the first floor of the structure is not suitable for residential use. However, residential is currently the only allowed use in this district. Therefore, this amendment adds street level retail, restaurant, and other similar uses to this property, which is along West Side Avenue, sort of just south of where the business district starts to fade away. So it would extend the West Side Avenue Business District southward.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just want to mark Councilperson Solomon present at 4:09 PM. So we have 8 council members present. Thank you.
Good evening, Council President, City Council members. I have 1 item for Cultural Affairs before you. Christine Goodman. This is the second reading of ordinance item 4.1, ordinance 24-105, which is the ordinance authorizing the City of Jersey City to execute a sublease between the Provost Square Performing Arts Company and the New Jersey Symphony for the purpose of providing culturally enriching experiences to the Jersey City community through the arts.
Good afternoon, Council President and Council members. I have 2 items. The first one is Resolution 24877, resolution granting a veterans exemption for the property of,
What's the item number?
oh, sorry. The item number is 10.8.
And just identify yourself. I know we all know you.
Sorry, Laura
Okay.
Takuri from the Tax Assessor Office. Okay, so resolution number 24-877, I am Item number 10.08, a resolution granting a veteran's tax exemption for Block 4402, Lot 26, Qualifier 1. Properties owned by 100% disabled veterans are eligible 100% tax exemption on their primary residence. So therefore, I'm requesting a municipal council to authorize a tax collector to cancel an amount of taxes of $3,612.36 for the property located at 9 Manhattan Avenue. The second item is the same veteran exemption for two properties, 172 Colbert Avenue. That's resolution number 24-878, item number 10.9. The properties are 172 Colbert Avenue, Unit 305, and 149 Neptune Avenue. Therefore, I'm requesting the municipal council to authorize a collector to refund an amount of taxes of $1,392.65. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Council President and council members. Tricia Greco, tax collector. I have a few items to present. The first item is number 10.10, Resolution 24-879. It's a resolution to cancel taxes for 2024 for three properties that were acquired by the city. The first one is 16801 Lot 12. Second one is 3702 Lot 22 and 3702 Lot 39.
So the city purchased the properties. So how would they tax the prior landowner?
Yes, so when they acquired it, they were already being taxed. So we just need to do a resolution to cancel the taxes because the city isn't going to pay itself.
Oh, okay. And 3 and 5 grant,
3-5 storms, I
Yeah.
believe. I think I talked to John. It was going to be a park.
oh, yeah. Is that the extension for the,
Yeah, and Councilman, and the other parcels are for the build out of the North District. Some of the
Yes.
plans we have there include an entrance and an exit on the side streets. And just for clarification, as Trish mentioned, the taxes would be canceled from when the city
acquired?
acquired the property.
Mhm. Okay, next agenda number is 10.11, Resolution 24-880. This is a standard resolution that's done yearly to cancel any small balances under $10 for the year end 2024. Okay, the next one is agenda number 10.31, Resolution 24-900. This is a resolution to grant an agreement with the pilot Glenview Townhouses. They owe a total of $352,000 for tax year 2016 to 2023, based on their annual gross. They can't afford to pay it up front, so they requested a payment plan. It's a affordable housing project.
So Grandview Housing,
Glenview.
how do they get backed up so much?
So they pay taxes based on the pilot agreement, but they have to provide annual financials. When they do and they generate revenue, they get an increase. And that's what happened.
Oh, so you don't know. Okay. That brings me to my next point. I know we were doing these, I don't know how it started, but they started reassessing these 95.5 properties. And for some people have went back to the normal tax rate. So I remember vividly asking, and I think, is Laura still here? I think that was Laura I was talking to with regards to, because for some reason we were going to credit the individuals who paid the overage versus giving it back. And I specifically asked, in some instance, if people need the money right away, would they be able to get a check? So a constituent did reach out and they were overcharged upwards of 6,000, which pushed their mortgage up. So I was just trying to figure out how do that person begin the process to get the refund versus it's credited? Because when you're dealing with the mortgage company have already dispersed the tax. So when they release their new statement period and a formula, it's going to reflect there. And this constituent have expressed that those amounts will be too high.
We did refund a bunch of them. Councilman Solomon's office did reach out to me regarding someone, and we did refund the mortgage companies probably for about a dozen properties.
Okay,
If you contact me, I'll check that one.
all right, perfect.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Vernon still here? What Vernon been there?
Good evening, Councilman. Council President, members of the council, my name is Vernon Richardson. I'm representing the Division of Park Maintenance of the Department of Recreation. I'm here for two items. First is 1019, Resolution 24-888 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of the open-end contract with Clark Moynihan Landscaping and Construction LLC. The purpose of which is to service the landscaping needs of two parks, Gateway Park as well as Pershing Field Parks. And there's an identical resolution 1020, which is resolution 24-889, which is servicing the same company for Bayside Park, Desmond Park, Leonard Gordon Park, Hamilton Park, Berry Lane Park, Columbia Park, and Riverview Fisk Park. And what these all represent is that the first one is a first of two renewals that are possible, covering the calendar year 2025. And the second one is the second and final continuance of the contract for the seven parks that are represented there.
Vernon, question. When you say the maintenance, do you know if they're going to include the irrigation system in there and new sod if it needs to be repaired, et cetera?
No, they don't. We have a separate contractor that takes care of our irrigation. This particular contract takes care of our lawn maintenance as well as garbage removal, snow removal in the parks as well, the pruning and the general gardening of the parks.
So they don't cover the bathrooms?
They do not cover the bathrooms, no.
They do not cover.
No.
So the snow removal. I've never seen them go in Berry Lane Park and remove snow.
For the last 2 years, they have been there at least 6 times removing the snow. Absolutely.
Where at, do they remove the snow off the playground and the basketball court or just the parking area where the cars park at?
They replicate the service that the city was previously providing, which means initially, let's say you have a heavy snowstorm, the first order of business is to clear the sidewalks as well as the paths within the park, right? So that's what they do at first. And then they come back again and take care of the rest of the area so that they can be functional. So only after they've cleared the path, right, would they come back and they would clear the playground and the basketball courts and the tennis courts if a park has it.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm just saying I've never seen it done. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't do it. So that's good to know.
I would say the last year, we only had 2 snowstorms that required removal of snow, and it was pretty quickly handled. Like the next day, everything was clear in all of our parks.
Yes. So regarding the maintenance of these parks, can you tell the contractor to stop cutting the grass so low? Just because they're shaving it like closer than my head right now. So it turns like really dusty, and people like to lay in the grass. And I was just driving by Riverview Park, and they're leaf blowing and dirt was still blowing even though it rained. And Leonard Gordon Park is like 50-50. They let some of the grass like grow. and the other part they didn't. So just if you could tell them to let it grow a little more so, people can have fluffy picnics on the fluffy grass. So
Absolutely, Councilman. That's a conversation that has been had with them. The standard that they had been adhering to is something closer to what a golf course looks like, which is not what we really want. It's not good environmentally either. The longer the strands of the grass, the root system grows longer, and it allows it to absorb more water into the park as opposed to running off. So that's a conversation we've had. We were able to visit Leonard Gordon Park, which had been locked down for a year, and we went over exactly what we're looking for. We're looking at something like as much as 3¼ inches in height that we're looking as a target, and they're aware of it, and that will be the goal that we will establish for next season. They have been inundated by conversations with constituents. So when they allow it to grow a little bit longer, they're being harassed saying, "You're not cutting it." And if so, we've already had that conversation. We're the customer. They take direction from us, and that they will allow the grass to grow longer.
Vernon, I have another question. So then that means so the city does it and we have a contractor to do it?
No, these two resolutions cover 9 parks. The city has close to 80 parks. And I'm saying in the parks that the contractor doesn't do, that the city actually handles this in the smaller parks, they hold to the standard that we set for ourselves in the other parks. So, for instance, Webb Park, across the street from PS 22, is a park that the city services itself. The exact same standard that we hold ourselves to, that we want the curb as well as the interior paths of the park cleared within 24 hours. And then we want all of the assets in the park cleared in subsequent days. We had set that standard for ourselves. That's what they have to meet. They have to make sure that garbage and leaf removal is taken care of out to 18 inches away from the curb into the street. So they're not just blowing it out into the street and leaving it there. They're collecting it all in, because that's the standard we set for ourselves. Yes, Councilman.
last question, it has to do with the rain gardens. Have they had a discussion about, not interfering with certain portions of the park that are being catered to by a group of volunteers?
Yeah.
Just because we don't want, situations where there's like miscommunication and then they destroy like the rain garden. So.
And total transparency, we've had those kind of circumstances occur where before we award the contract or before the contract goes into practice, we send out communication to park groups saying, okay, which areas do you want to take care of and you want us to take a hands-off approach to? And some folks will write a map like that's really detailed, and others will just give a narrative. For every park, we've had that conversation, and we have the standards, and they know for each of the specific parks, if there is a park group and where they're going to handle the task versus them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy holiday. Human Resources?
Good afternoon, City Council President and City Council members. Lori Disbrow, Office of Employee Benefits, Human Resources. Item number 1014, Resolution 24883. This is a resolution authorizing the implementation of the second renewal option of a service agreement with Empower, formerly Prudential, to administer the city's deferred compensation plan. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, Council President, council members. My name's Joan Eccleston, Director of Senior Affairs. I'm here for Resolution 24885. This is a resolution authorizing the execution of a license agreement with the Jersey City Medical Center RWJ Barnabas Health for the use of office space located at 394 Central Avenue. I have to tell you, this is a very exciting project. What they're going to be doing is, if you know the senior affairs cannot handle case management because of the staff, they are going to provide a case manager on site for seniors. So if you get called, what organization we put it, we have no idea what to do. They will be handling case management for free, right on site in our offices. And in addition, I know Councilwoman Prince Ari and I've been dealing with this very irate senior, which I never realized that if you're on Medicare, you can't get any service. You can get very little services. So especially transportation services. So for medical transportation, they have Transcend. Everything else is Medicaid. What they are also going to do is an Uber health plan where they will provide free Ubers for anybody going to anything medical. Now that's doctors not only included with the Barnabas, with any of your doctor's appointments, any of your, if you have to go to physical therapy, if you have to pick up drugs at the drugstore, all of this will be done for free. And they're just asking for space in our new building, which I think it's going to help us out so much.
So in order to avail themselves of these services, who would they reach out to? They'd go to the office, or is there a number?
We haven't set that up, but they're gonna have an office space right near Senior Affairs, I think right in the next office here, which will be right there, which is going to be fantastic because I can recommend where you go to. If a senior has a problem, I either refer them to the county or to Urban League. But now the fact that we can help them right in-house, and the transportation thing is going to be huge.
And you're saying there won't be any situation where RWJ is like, you can't go to this doctor because
No.
it's like out of network?
That's not there. That's what I asked because a lot of the people have the transportation, but you have to go to their doctors. That has nothing to do with it. And Medicare and Medicaid, that doesn't matter either. So it should be helped a lot of people.
And you said this is for seniors only, or?
We're still working on seniors, veterans, and I think it's going to be opened up to a lot more.
What age are we saying seniors?
Well, technically seniors are 60, but we're just starting the program now. We just had 1 or 2 meetings. They wanted to have an office so we can be right near each other. And as soon as we get that, Director Flanagan will reach out and give you all the information. If you have any suggestions, please let us know.
Let me ask you something, Johnson. This is going to be located on Central Avenue.
Excuse me?
Where will it be located?
At Central Avenue, right by our offices.
Okay, so how can the other seniors on the other side of town access the service? Will there be some type of?
Well, this is just a phone. Basically, it's a phone service.
It's just a phone service.
It's phone service where they can hook you up with the Ubers. You can come in and meet with them, or they can do the phones. And they may be traveling. Although I think they'll be able to travel, but this is just giving them a base where they want to give it near where the seniors are. So that will be very helpful to us.
So they can travel too, and the seniors can just call and it won't be a problem. The seniors won't have to.
So this is the big thing is I don't know if you remember during the pandemic when we had the Ubers. Before this will be very similar to that, where people just call, they get an Uber, they go right there.
Okay.
Noticed the lease was for a 5-year term. Is there a feedback process? Because it sounds like a long time, like it's longer than our term. And obviously, if we approve it, this decision would outlast us. So I'm wondering, is there a feedback, like you're collecting feedback from the seniors throughout this 5-year term, or?
I'm going to defer to John McKinney. This is just in the very beginning stages. That's what I'm saying.
So just want to make it clear, it's not a lease, it's a license. If the city were to need the property back, it's not a hard property interest that the medical center would have. To the rest of your question, I can't answer that, but this is not a hard 5-year lock-in minimum.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Councilman, to your point, we could do some follow-ups or surveys with the seniors themselves to make sure they're satisfied with it. And 5 years is the max the law allows us. So we could always revisit prior to that, or a renewal in the coming years for an additional 5 years.
I think it's a fantastic idea. For the record, I just,
No, and then it's just very preliminary because we had this woman that had serious issues, and Amira's been working with her as well. And this will be able to help a lot of seniors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul?
Council President, if I may, I just wanted to mark Councilperson Soleil. I know he spoke already, present at 4:16 p.m. So we have all 9 council members present. Sure. The floor is yours, Paul.
Thank you. Good evening, council. Thank you for your time. Sorry. I'm here to present resolution number 24-871. This is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a professional service agreement with Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Orlando Gonzalez, DBA as Life Mod LLC, to serve as the chief medical officer for the city, assisting with clinical services, STI, HIV services, immunization, as well as our civil surgeon exams.
Paul, if you can identify yourself for the record, I know we will know you here.
Paul Kate, Director of Disease Prevention with Health and Human Services. So thank you.
Good evening, Council President, Council members. Danny Bagenot, Department of Finance. For your consideration this afternoon, I have 6 items. The first item is agenda number 10.4, resolution number 24-873. It is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Administration / Human Resources. And the main reason for this transfer is due to the following expenses, such as increased cost of prescription drugs and rising health insurance premiums. Second item I have, it's agenda number 10.5, resolution number 24-874. It is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Infrastructure, Division of Transportation Planning, and we're asking here for $6,000, and this is due to a new hire as of September 9, 2024. Third item is agenda number 10.3, resolution number 24-872. It is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Public Safety. And this is due to the cost of living increase within the fire department and also the Division of Office of Homeland Security. Fourth item I have, it's agenda number 10.6, resolution number 24-875, resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 appropriation transfers for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development, Division of Park Maintenance. And this is mainly for salary adjustments of 3 employees who are general supervisors and due to the cost of living increase of 2 management employees. Fifth item I have is agenda number 10.32, resolution number 24-901. This is a resolution to cancel current appropriation reserve balances in the amount of $604,442. And last but not least, agenda number 10.7, resolution number 24-876. This is a resolution ratifying the award of a professional service agreement with Wilcox & Company, LLC, certified public accountants to provide professional municipal budget accounting and financial services. And what this firm is going to do for us is assist with the annual financial statement, year-end closeouts, and coordination with the state for budget adoption. Any questions? Thank you and happy holidays.
Good evening, Council. John Mercer, CFO. I'm here for item 10.21, Resolution 24-890. This is just a housekeeping resolution. A couple meetings ago, there was a reso for Chapter 159, recognizing revenues, and it included a whereas or an item for matching grants, matching funds for grants. And Local Government Services has required us to pass this resolution at Chapter 85 to better clarify those matching funds. Thank you.
Good evening, Council President, Council members. Happy holidays. Jennifer Wong, Director of Traffic Engineering with the Department of Infrastructure. I'm here to present item number 1026, Resolution 24895. This is to exercise our second and last option for a renewal for the contract with Gen Electric, Inc. to continue the traffic signal maintenance throughout the city.
What do you mean by the last?
We had two options to renew
Okay.
with the original contract. So this is the second and last.
Okay, and then after this, like next year,
We would put it out to bid.
gotcha. Okay.
Yes, no, I actually, maybe John can help me. I know I thought Barker was gonna be here. We were slated to repave Emory after all that work was done last year. And for some reason, I don't know why that haven't been done yet.
I'm not familiar with the plans for paving, but maybe Drew can answer that question.
Yes, I'm not totally familiar with that project, but I will be presenting our on-call asphalt paving contract later tonight, which that would encompass, paving of Emory Street and many other streets throughout the city.
So no one knows specifically about what's going on with Emory and why it haven't been repaved.
It may have just because we didn't have the funds in the previous contract to do it, and we were waiting for this new one to be bid and then awarded.
John, you don't know anything? Because I know I talked to Barker and she said something about that it was maybe, or you say you're presenting on something later on. So maybe this is in there.
Yeah, this will be a citywide on-call paving. So if we have, streets that are categorized on what is needed to be paved, and then if there are other ones that, previous projects could not get to, they will be on there too.
Why isn't the MU, because they're the ones that went in the ground and sort of ground up to do infrastructure repairs. I thought like the repaving that they just did on Ocean, that's separate than the batch that's gonna be with this one, correct?
That is correct. They usually run their own paving contract. I don't know the timeline of the Emory Street one, but if they need to let trenches settle, usually we like to let them settle for 2 to 3 months before we go back.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
So they're settled. But yeah, we'll work with the MUA on if it's something that needs to get fast tracked.
Yeah, Councilman, we'll make sure we have an answer by Wednesday for that. But we'll make sure it's on their plan and we'll back it up with our contract to make sure either way it gets resolved.
South Street and New York Avenue, please, if you can, just look into that. It's been a long time too. It might have been over a year.
Ocean.
Yeah, well, when I come back up,
Please.
we can address those and definitely get lists going.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is it Jennifer?
Are there any other questions? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Vivian?
I was gonna ask, sorry, is there a number when the light goes down? Is that in the contract? Because I remember bothering Mike Manzella and he was on vacation that one time. And is there a number that you could circulate to the council later? So if a light switch goes down and we need to call it in.
Mike, do you have that memorized or no?
He's got it memorized?
We got it for you right now. We'll put it on the record.
I can share the number with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't want to bother Mike on vacation again. That's why. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Council President, Council. Vivian Webb from Department of Finance. I have one item, which is agenda number 10.1, Resolution 24870. And it's the insertion of special items of revenue and appropriations to the CY24 budget. There are two grants being added to the budget. The apprenticeship program for 2024 in the amount of $750,000, UEZ administrative budget for 2025 and that's in the amount of $693,034 for a total of $1,443,034. And there was an adjustment to the UEZ 2024 budget, which there was a reduction. The anticipated amount from the state initially this year was $784,787. But the funds that came into the city was for $674.99. So we had to reduce that by $110,688. Any questions? Thank you. Have a happy holiday.
Cynthia?
Good evening, Council President, fellow councilmen. My name is Cynthia Vasquez, Division Director of Division of Injury Prevention, HHS, here for resolution number 24-884, agenda number 10.15. It's a resolution authorizing the use of carryover funds of a grant award from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration in the amount of $29,999.79, which were unspent in 2024 and approved by SAMHSA to cover carry over for the extra funds to be used in 2025. Okay, thank you.
Hello again, Council President Waterman, council members. Drew Banghart presenting on behalf of the Department of Infrastructure, Division of Engineering. I have 3 items tonight. The first one is agenda number 10.22, resolution 24-891. This is a resolution granting the property owner permission to enter a deed notice affecting their property, which in turn affects a easement that we have for Linden Avenue East. This is down at the end of Caven Point Road, just east of the Linden Avenue East intersection with that road towards Tropicana. Because it's part of our street, we are also named in this deed notice. Currently, it's has an engineering control of the pavement and concrete. This is just the legislation to institute the control legislatively. Very similar to other items I've presented before. The second item is agenda number 10.24, resolution 24-893. This is the asphalt paving contract that we spoke about before, publicly bid. This is our initial contract with options to renew if awarded. And like I said, we'll get together with council members to identify streets that do need paving. We do have a running list of what we have graded in the past and have identified as needing paving. Emery Street obviously would be one of them. And Councilman, I know you mentioned Ocean Avenue. If it's the southern portion that's being paid by PSE&G,
Yeah, they
pretty much as we speak.
Yeah, they did a good job. They did Ocean and Garfield. I can actually ride on the road down there.
Yeah, MUA's that long going project, they've been restoring Garfield as well. Any questions for this contract for paving? And the final item is agenda number 10.25, resolution number 24-894. This is a resolution authorizing the award of a professional services contract to Ingenuity Infrastructure LLC. This is to prepare design plans, construction documents, and oversee construction for the Christopher Columbus Drive improvements. These improvements are funded by 2 years of municipal aid funding, totaling just under $3.8 million.
Finished?
Now he's finished.
All right, I just want to ask you, when are they going to pave St. Paul's Avenue?
That'll be, in the spring with this new contract that I'm just introducing tonight. That'll be part of that when we can hit the ground running in the spring with the warmer temperatures.
Yeah, well, this has been going on for a long time, and the people have been breaking my back. Please get it done.
Will do. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. Mike Manzella, Director of Division of Transportation Planning and Department of Infrastructure. I have one agenda item for tonight. It's agenda number 10.23, Resolution 24-892. This is a resolution requesting NJDOT to grant a 6-month extension to a bikeways grant project on Manhattan Avenue. And the new deadline to award the contract would be June 11th, 2025.
We never got the extension. We just requested it before. We never.
Yeah, we requested it. So there's a council resolution required to actually
Okay.
formalize it.
So it's effective upon us voting in favor of this resolution, correct?
Correct, the extension, yes.
Got it.
Extended another 5 years.
Hey, James, you want to explain your resolution now?
So just would like to add a late item and ask if anyone's willing to co-sponsor, but just briefly, since it's time sensitive, which is why we're doing this. But I think as most of us know, the CarePoint has been going through financial difficulties, and so Christ Hospital in Jersey City has been part of that. And they're now going to Hudson County Hospital LLC, which I think is part of the broader Hudson Regional Hospital Network. And we're calling on the new owners just to recognize the union that existed, HPAE, and to basically honor all the existing contracts. We think the nurses are kind of the backbone of the hospital and deserve to have their contracts honored and their union recognized. And so it's obviously we have no kind of a mechanism to force them to do so, but just us calling upon them to recognize the union. And if folks are interested in co-sponsoring, if they can let us know before Wednesday, and then we can put it all out.
Councilman, do we know what the title is going to be for this?
I can get that to you via email.
Yeah, that's my ward, and I will co-sponsor that.
Thank you.
That's your ward.
We've been very involved with all this going on.
Yeah.
Me too.
You saw too, Rich.
I was like, we gotta check them out.
Now, John is not here. John McKinney just walked out.
Oh, is John still right there? You could tell John to step in real quick.
It was something that he had, Brittany, do you know what the law department had to add? Okay, just let us know.
Yeah, it's a walk-on for cancellation of taxes. I'm just not sure which one, since we talked
right
about
there.
several.
On, you holding everybody up.
Come on. It's time for your walk-on. Tell Sean your name.
John McKinney, Law Department.
What your walk-on is, that's all.
Oh, my walk-on was the one that Trish discussed. It was the Cole Street Park cancellation of the taxes. City owned it as of September. Looks like there might have been an unknown recording issue with the county. I'm going to look into it more tomorrow and figure out what happened there.
We also have a special session on
The closed session on,
When?
at 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
Sean, can I,
Sure.
I just want to say something. On December the 3rd, there was an article in the Jersey Journal, which was big headlines. It says Councilman urges release of timely crime stats as Jersey City touts record low homicides. In that article, it says Councilman Borgiano has been on the council for 12 years, and it is strange for him to mention this after more than a decade, city officials said in statement. Well, to the city officials that said this, I met with the mayor, I met with the chief of staff, I met with everybody, the police director, And this has been going on for several years. And I've been complaining about the police department. So whoever in the city official that said this, correct yourself and learn what's going on. Because this article irritates me. That's it, Sean.
Okay. I'm going to take it from the top, as Council President said. So our only one first reading ordinance was touched on earlier. Our second readings, 4.1 was touched on earlier, 4.2. City Ordinance 24-106 is an ordinance approving a 30-year tax exemption for Birchwood at Fairmont Hotel, Block 16301, Lot 42, pursuant to New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Act of 1983, as amended and supplemented as NJSA 55:14K-1 exec and the rules promulgated under NJAC 5:80-1 exec. We have our public speakers. We're at 42. And any questions or comments on petitions and communications 6.1 through 6.16? There are no officer communications. There is only one report of director. And our claims are there, and right on to our resolutions. Items 10.1 through 10.12, which touched on earlier. Item 10.13, Resolution 24-882 is a resolution honoring Lieutenant David L. Scanlon on the occasion of his retirement from the Jersey City Police Department. Items 10.14 through 10.28 were touched on earlier. Corporation Counsel, would you like to take items 10.29 and 30?
Sure. Brittany Murray, Law Department. 1029 and 1030 are both renewals of contracts with outside counsel. 1029 is for various union negotiations, and then 1030 is for outside EEO investigations when we have a conflict and need to go outside.
Okay. With that being said, if there's nothing else, may I have a motion to adjourn at 4:52 p.m.?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilperson Saleh. May I have a second? Second by Councilperson Solomon. On the motion to adjourn at 4:52 p.m., all council members present by acclamation, please say aye. We are out of here at 4:52 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone who was present and still present, and everyone who was watching at home. Remember, teamwork makes a dream work. Have a great night and happy holidays. Stay safe.